So,
Okay, so this is going to be on blood circuits, how blood travels from the right side of the heart out to the lungs, and then back to the left side of the heart, and then out of the left side of the heart. So basically, they break it down into specific categories of blood circuits, and all of this is listed on the back side of the last page of pink notes right here. And then it's also in your lab pack book. On page 47, there is a schematic breakdown of these. So I thought I would draw a quick picture of the blood circuits. And so basically there's the big two. The first big blood circuit goes from the right side of the heart, which is full of CO2, and you take it out and you take it to the lungs. And that is the pulmonary circuit. And so pulmonary refers to lungs, and so you're going to take that CO2 out here and exchange it for O2. So the pulmonary circuit goes from the right atrium out, pulmonary trunk, the pulmonary arteries, and out to the lungs, okay? It's going to take the CO2 out there. Then, what's the other circuit? Well, then you have to bring the oxygenated blood back to the left atrium and send it out and up the aorta and out to all parts of the body. And so the second big circuit is systemic, okay? The systemic circuit. So it starts at the left atrium. It's going to go through the left side of the heart, out the aorta, and then out to all parts of the body. So the pulmonary veins will be bringing it back in. And so systemic means it's the blood that has high oxygen levels in it. And it first comes from the lungs, back to the left atrium, and then out, right there. So that's the big two. Now, the systemic circuit breaks down into more specific ones. And so these are all listed on your pink sheet, of course. And so the systemic circuit is going to break down into 3 subcircuits, a little more specific. So we have the cephalic subcircuit, we have the thoracic, and we have the visceral. So what does that mean? Cephalic subcircuit means it's going to take blood, oxygenated blood, to all your organs in your throat area, and to everywhere in the head. So cephalic means head, neck, all the organs, everything, muscles, blood vessels, trachea, whatever you have in that area is going to get fed oxygenated blood in this loop. And so cephalic, head, neck, okay, subcircuit. Then the second one is thoracic. So where's the thoracic region? It's your chest area and associated with your arms, okay, arms. So it's everything going across and down to the diaphragm, okay? So that's a thoracic subcircuit, a little more specific. And then we have the visceral subcircuit, and this feeds all the organs below the diaphragm. So it's all abdominal organs, leg, feet, everything down below the diaphragm. That's visceral, because visceral means basically all body organs, right? Viscera is a general term to mean all body organs. All right, now we get even a little more specific, and then we have 13 subcircuits under each one of our more general ones. So basically under our subcircuits. So the cephalic one, there's one in here that feeds only the brain, which is the circle of Willis. And then we have the thoracic subcircuit. It's got 4 more. Cardiac feeds only the heart wall. The azygos goes to the rib cage and the lungs. The brachial feeds everything in your arms, and the phrenic feeds just the diaphragm muscle, okay? And so basically, those are the subs underneath the thoracic. And the visceral has a bunch of them. And so they've got even more than this. But the visceral has like the hepatic portal subcircuit, which means gallbladder and liver. Celiac is stomach, pancreas, spleen type things. Mesenteric is the mesenteric membrane for the small intestine. The lumbar subcircuit is basically going to be the back, lower back vertebrae, kidneys area, not the kidneys, sorry. Basically the muscles in the pelvic region, all the pelvic structures. And then the iliac is for your legs and feet only. Renal is basically it goes into and feeds the kidney. It's not part of the renal subcircuit. Well, it is actually part, it becomes part of it. And then we have suprarenal, which is the adrenal gland only to pick up the hormones. And then we have the gonadal subcircuit, which means the repro organs. And in girls, we have an extra one. When you become pregnant, then we have another blood circuit that develops in the baby and the fetus, and it's called the fetal subcircuit. And so there's 3 subs. That's how specific it is. So anyway, that's sort of how they organize how you identify where the oxygenated blood's going. And then all of the oxygenated blood will come back up to the right side of the heart right here, be the inferior vena cava, and then the superior one right here. And so all the CO2 will come back to the right side eventually. So, and I think Tim has something in the SI sheets or a picture that you can sort of color or follow the arrows to show you how it all connects. But I'm going to draw a picture of the pulmonary circuit, taking blood out to exchange it with the lungs. And so basically that's part of the respiratory system too. So anyway, that's just how it breaks down in terms of where the blood goes. And so that would be it for the blood circuits.